Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to. Oh my god, I forgot I was doing for a second. Welcome back to Year of the Batman. Today's episode is the ultimate thrill. So the antagonist of this episode is some girl. I can't remember what her name was. I think it was Roxy. I'm like 60% sure it was Roxy. It doesn't really matter though. But man, she is fine as hell. Like, oof, the I don't know who was behind the character design and the voice and everything, but my god, this woman was fine. I mean, just fine. Um, but yeah, just absolutely gorgeous redhead would do very bad things for this woman. Anyway, so it starts off. This woman is robbing a blimp, and she takes some jewels and whatnot, and she jumps out of the blimp, and she doesn't have a parachute on or anything, and she uses her controls to summon a rocket like the size of maybe like two humans put together, and then she just like rides off. She ditches the cops, but Batman's on her trail. But during the flight, Batman crashes like one of his wings, so he has to make an emergency landing, and she gets away. So he's looking her up, and she used to be this stunt double, but she was getting like really into the stunts, like really into the stunts, like in a sexual way. That there is a lot of sexual innuendos in this episode. Like when you watch it as an adult, you're like, God damn, somebody was fucking horny on making this episode. So Batman's like, all right, we need to find out who she's fencing all the shit she stole. So Batgirl, you're on that. And she's like, all right, cool. So later in the episode, Bruce Wayne, for whatever reason, I don't know why this needed to be a thing. He bought for the Wayne Enterprise some kind of priceless painting, and I'm just like, who is that for? Like, are you gonna use this like some kind of office decoration? Like, is it gonna be presented to like some kind of Wayne art gallery? Like, it's really weird. It just says like they're having a big party because Wayne Enterprise bought this big or this like really big deal of a painting. So Roxy, she crashes the party and she makes off with it. And Batman, he's right on her trail in his like jet propelled glider. Um, Eventually, they both wind up. I mean, Batman doesn't crash, but he gets his vehicle pretty wrecked. She winds up crashing because Batman did some damage to it. And then they end up on this building, and Roxy's like, well, I know one way out of this, and she throws the painting off the side of the building. And then as Batman's catching it, she like blows the building up and uses that opportunity to escape, or uses some kind of explosion to get out of there. I kind of dozed off there. It's not important either way. She escaped, but Batman got the painting, so it's fine. So back at the Penguin lair, Penguin, he's like, listen, you're a fucking loose cannon. I gotta get you the hell out of here. So he tries to kill her, but she does in fact escape. And Penguin's like, all right, you waitresses, you take her down because I'm not doing that. You take her down. So later in the evening, Penguin he's getting ready for bed, and then Batman he pops in and he's like, listen here, you little shit. I'm gonna hold you over the side of the building. So he like takes him out and like holds him over like 20 stories in the air. And he's like, we're just gonna have a nice friendly chat. Yeah, just me and you. Look at my eyes. I love you. I'll kill you. I love you. Anyway, so he threatens Penguin to get information about Roxy. I think that's her name. It's kind of embarrassing. I can't remember her name. I'm like, oh my god, I'm falling in love with this character who I don't know. um, so it's a shot at the airfield where Roxy, she's like working on one of her rockets. I'm fairly certain it's like Roxy Rocket. I'm fairly certain that is it. So Penguin's like henchwoman go and they have some guns and like a pipe and they're ready to fuck her up. And it's just so funny because like they're still in their like waitress attire, so like super duper duper short skirts, um, very like revealing top and their little hats and whatnot. I'm like, ladies, like you don't have to dress the part. You can dress a little more effectively, I guess. I don't know. So they try and get the jump on her, but it's really Roxy that gets the jump on them, and she like traps two of them in like a biplane and sends it flying on its way. The plane crashes randomly in like a water tower in the middle of the airfield. I'm just like, why is that there? Like, I don't know. It just kind of came out of nowhere because I feel like they wanted to make it so there's like two women in a runaway airplane, but they didn't really know how to end the scene to make it so they live. So I feel like they really just had to shoehorn in a water tower that they crash into. Um, so Roxy, she gets into one of her rockets and she blasts off, and Batman, he gets into, I guess, the spare one and blasts off. And so he's chasing her, but in the process, she shoots down his rocket, so he grapples on hers and he's able to sneak up on her and get the jump. So she aims the rocket right at a cliff and she puts the controls to where they stay put, and then she like turns around and faces Batman and she's like, yeah, all right, so you have two options. You can either stay and get splat by the cliff, or you can jump and land in the water. Easy peasy, right? So Batman, he just like kind of stonewalls her. He just like, I don't mean like in the figures that like literally he like turns into like a stone wall. He's just like like he's like, I'm calling your bluff. I'll play chicken with you. You're not gonna beat me. I'm Batman. You're just nobody. So she actually kind of regrets like her decision. So she goes back to the controls, and then Batman stops her. And he's like, "What? Isn't this what you want all along?" And this is where I bet a lot of people know where this scene's coming from. So they're about to crash into the cliff, and I don't know what they told the voice actress or who wrote it or whatnot, but it just sounds like she's getting fucked. I mean, it really sounds like she is getting her shit rocked. Like, she's like, oh, yes, yes, the ultimate thrill, yes. I'm just like, this is not for children. like, I'm fairly certain them seeing somebody get shot is more child friendly than whatever the hell that was. So it being Batman, he does save her at the last possible minute, and she gets arrested, and that's the end of the episode. But weird episode. A lot of sexual overtones in the episode. Like you have Penguin like flirting with her a lot, and then just like at the end she like gets her jacket torn, so she's like, screw it, I don't need this. So she like takes off to be like a revealing top. I'm just, I don't know, like animators, writers, voice, everybody's horny in this episode. So it was weird. Still good though. I mean, Batman, there's some pretty badass action scenes with Batman. Barbara's useful because she was able to find out through some detective work that Penguin was the fence. Penguin was good in the episode. It's just, like I said, the sexual overtones or undertone, whatever the hell it is, it was just weird. So rating wise, not a one, not a seven, definitely not a six. Uh, it's not a five in my book. It's not a two. So I'm debating between three and four. And honestly, like the sex stuff, it was just like distracting. Like I don't know. It just kind of threw me out of it. So I think I'll give it a three. Just interesting. So yeah. Bye bye.